Hello everyone, Abhijit this side, and today with us we are glad to have Dr. AGV Narayan, Director of DJ Academy for Managerial Excellence with us. I'll start by giving out a brief introduction about sir. Uh, an agricultural engineering graduate, 1984-89, batch from Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, Coimbatore. He did his post-graduation in business administration from one of the most prestigious management institutions in the country, Bharati Darshan Institute of Management. He has 23 years of teaching experience at postgraduate level, preceded by 3 years of industrial experience in agro-based corporate sector. His doctoral thesis is in the area of rural marketing with special reference to life insurance sector. He has published more than 11 research papers in reputed international journals. He has many research papers presented in national as well as international conferences to his credit. He is an alumnus of Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, to the Faculty Development Program in Management. Presently, he is a member of the Education Panel of CII Coimbatore, Executive Committee member of NIPM Coimbatore, and a special invitee and the Management Committee of Coimbatore Management Association. Currently, he is the Director of DJ Academy for Managerial Excellence, Coimbatore, since August 2018. Very warm welcome to you, sir. We are extremely glad to have you with us today, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abhijit. It's my pleasure too.
So, sir, we'll just start out the interview. I wanted to ask you, very key positions at various organizations throughout your professional career. What are the key factors that keep you concerned, connected with the education sector as such?
Okay. Abhijit, of course, it was quite accidental when I got into academics. I was in the industry after completing my MBA program. Okay. I was serving agro-based sector. Keeping in mind my basic background in agricultural engineering division. So I was in the industry for about 3 years. Then subsequently, I was not quite happy with the industry. Some or other, there is no match between my attitude, my personality, and the expectations from the industry. So I was on the lookout for the right platform so that I can build my career on it. So that was the time I got an opportunity to serve as an academician in an institution called Komri Engineering College, which is one of the top 10 engineering institutions in Tamil Nadu. Of course, they do have their MBA program too, and I was taking care of the MBA department. Okay, and that happened way back in 1997. Okay, and that's why I call it as an accidental one. But of course, 23 years gone, and absolutely no regrets. In fact, I have found out where my strengths are lying. Okay, that's one thing. The second one, education is always my passion. So I realized I could do better in the academic field rather than in the industry. Okay, that is one thing. So passion is one thing. The second one, the feedback is quite instantaneous from the student side. After completing 90 minutes or 120 minutes program, you could see the satisfaction on their face. That is quite instantaneous. You can get the feedback, which is quite instantaneous. That is second one. The third one, you can act as a catalyst in terms of transforming an individual from one form to another form within the given time. So that challenge, I like it. So this is the one which keeps me going in education industry.
Understood, sir. Understood. Just the second question I wanted to ask is, being the director of DJ Academy for Managerial Excellence, what is the philosophy of leadership? How do you describe your leadership style?
I strongly believe in one thing, Mr. Abhijit. Each one has got his own strengths. The only thing we need to provide him or her enough opportunities so that we can get the best out of an individual. So I strongly believe on that. So going by that philosophy, I normally adopt something called participative leadership style. Whenever important decisions are taken at the strategic level, I include all my team members so that the excellent cooperation I can expect from all the people because they have agreed on one thing. So this is the participative leadership style I do keep following. That is one thing. The second one, empowerment through delegation of authority. Okay, give a task and leave it to them. Let them come out with their own creativity and their own talent so that they can do best. Even they can do better than what I would have expected. So this is what I do believe in. And that is the one which keeps my team together.
Understood, sir. what you said pretty much makes a lot of sense. Like a lot of the time, people suffer with an attitude called micromanagement. People don't want to be micromanaged. Going forward, if you can let people have the space to work, I think that brings the best out of everyone in your team. Well said,
exactly. When a leader started getting into all the nuances, getting into all the micromanagement, then he may not find time to concentrate on the strategical level.
Makes sense. Totally, 100% agree.
Okay, so I should not be wasting my time in all the nitty-gritties. My team will take care of that. Okay, and of course, I do keep listening to them. Okay?
Yeah.
So that is very important for a leader, and we need to be empathetic. We need to put our legs into other shoes, and then we need to identify what kind of problems they do face. Okay, so I try to be empathetic always.
Got it, sir. So the next question I would want to ask you is, when you first came to DG Academy for Managerial Excellence, what is your vision for the college, and how has it evolved over time, having served for as long as you have, and how far are you in implementing what your vision was initially?
Okay. Abhijit, if you look at management education per se in India, the last 10 years we have been going through a very, very tough time. The reasons are many. Probably I could come out with one or two reasons. Okay, number one, mushrooming of business schools in India. Okay, according to the recent estimate by the regulatory authorities, we have got more than 3,500 plus business schools in the country, and it keeps ticking. The number keeps ticking. Okay, that is one thing. And the second one, we don't get the qualified faculty. Faculty who have got enough experience both in the industry as well the academics. Okay, we are finding it very difficult to get the right intellectual capital. Okay, the third one, MBA cannot be taught within four walls. The students are to be exposed to what is happening in the industry. Okay, so this is the broad concept with which we have come out with a vision for our institution. We need to be completely linked with the industry right from day one, so that the students will be getting enough exposure, not only in terms of theory, but also in terms of practical inputs. So that by the time he comes out of the institution, he gets into the industry, he will not be facing any culture shock, or he will not be facing any knowledge shock. He could find a perfect match between his capabilities and the expectations from the industry. So this is the vision with which we have started working out for the last 2.5 years, and we have started seeing the benefits on that front too.
Sure, sir. On the same note, sir, 100% agree, because I went to IIM Indore, and when I was graduating as a fresher, I did not have work experience prior to that. And when we were sitting for placements, I was absolutely disoriented. No idea what to do, what the profile is, how does exactly a job look like.
Exactly.
What you're saying probably exactly relates to it. So on that same note, I would want to understand how do you exactly approach this? How do you make sure that in your college students are exposed to the industry? What sort of activities, seminars, or industry exposure tells? What sort of activities are being undertaken in that regard?
Okay. See, conventionally speaking, of course, we take them to the industry visits. We are getting them exposed to what is happening in the industry, so on and so forth. This is one thing, Mr. Abhijit. The second one, what we have created is something called Connect programs. Okay. Of course, Connect can be preceded with so many things. Say, for example, we do have a forum called CXO Connect. Right. That X can be replaced with anything like E, F, T, O, M, whatever it is. Okay. Yeah. So this is something called CXO Connect, which we keep organizing at a regular intervals. The second one, the Corporate Connect, we get the senior management level people to come and deliberate with our students on that front. Okay, that is the second. The third one, we also get entrepreneurs who have failed, who have succeeded. We get both of them. So the students will get enough exposure on why it has gone FUD or why it has gone successful kind of for me. Okay, they get very varied exposure kind of for me. Mm-hmm. And of course, the fourth one, we have something called Alumni Connect. Okay, if you look at a DJAME, which is a 21 years old business school, more than 1,000 students, they are well spread over the whole world. So we try to get them and we try to engage them with our present students through a forum called Alumni Connect. Okay, so these are all the forums through which the students get enough exposure regarding what is happening in the industry. Okay, and again, my target is almost one program a week kind of. And COVID has come as a blessing in disguise. If you look at my calendar since March 2020 till now, probably I would have conducted more than 40 programs because all the people are easily available online. They need not take the trouble of traveling all the way to Coimbatore, staying and spending a day with us. Okay, that day has gone. So thanks to online, thanks to the technology, again, thanks to COVID, I could get the people from across the world. Say, for example, one of my friends called Mr. T. Nadarajan, IAS from Gujarat cadre, who is working with IMF, Washington. He could interact with my students sitting in Washington. Okay, so that is the kind of exposure students do get. Okay, and very recently we have introduced a forum called Dialogue. Dialogue is nothing but a dialogue between two. We get CEO level people, and from the faculty level, we do have a dialogue with them. Very recently, I had a dialogue with one Mr. Arjun M. Ranga, who is the chairman and managing director of N. Rangarao and Sons, Cycle Pure Agarbattis. He came online and the dialogue went on for about more than 75 minutes, followed by 30 minutes a Q&A session. So this is the way I'm getting my students exposed to the industry. So this is another one. The third one, we have introduced a forum called mentoring. Mentoring by the people who are in the industry. And this is where all my alumni, they have come forward to help us. So on a one-to-one basis, the students who are right now with us, they'll be having a mentor from the industry on a one-to-one basis. So right from day one, this mentor will be hand-holding the mentee through the whole 2 years period. And this mentee will take enough inputs from the mentor on the specialization, okay, on the trend which is happening in the industry, how to prepare himself so that he will be given a red carpet welcome by the industry by the time he completes this program. So these are all the initiatives through which the students are getting enough exposure from the industry. And of course, the fourth one I missed out. The fourth one, we are closely associated with all the professional bodies. Say, for example, Coimbatore has got a professional body called Coimbatore Management Association, which is a local management association of All India Management Association. AIMA is an apex body and they do have chapters all over the country. And Coimbatore Management Association is doing extremely well, and we are closely associated with them so that we attend all the programs, whatever being organized by CMA, Coimbatore Management Association. Another national forum called National Institute of Personnel Management. We do have a student chapter through which we organize so many programs. So this is the way we are in constant touch with the industry so that my students are industry ready by day one when they come out of the institution.
Understood. So that takes me to the next question. Apart from these initiatives, sir, what do you think, what do you see as the biggest strength of DD Academy for managerial excellence? What would be the USP or what is the biggest strength?
Yeah, that's great. Abhijit, again, I'm trying to quote the figure 3,500 plus institutions in India.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
And if you look at the background of all the institutions, very few business schools are promoted by industry conglomerates.
Sure.
Or they do have a backing by the industry conglomerate. In that way, we are so fortunate enough to be promoted by an industry conglomerate called Lakshmi Machine Works Limited, shortly known as LMW. LMW is a pioneer as far as the textile machinery manufacturing is concerned. They are the market leader in both exports as well as the imports. And of course, they are also diversified group. It's a well diversified group. They are into textile machinery, they are into aerospace and so on and so forth. Okay, and they are the ones who promoted this particular institution. So what else you can look for a business school? A business school which is backed by an industry conglomerate making a turnover of more than 6,000 to 7,000 crores. Okay, so my day is made. I keep getting all the intellectual inputs from the industry, and I'm exposing my students to each and every sphere of the domain, what is happening in the industry, in marketing, in finance, in HR, and so on and so forth. Besides this, we have also introduced something called Faculty in Service Program, because I strongly believe in something. intellectual capital, which is a must for any business school, without which a business school cannot be built.
Sure.
Mere brick and mortar will not take you to greater heights. A brick and mortar which should be well supported by the faculty members, the intellectual capital, I call them. Okay. And of course, we designed a program called Faculty in Service Program, through which 2 weeks, every year, 2 weeks, they'll be spending time in the industry. In fact, last year they were associated with LMW. So first week they went through their discipline, their domain specialization. Like if it is a HR faculty, he will be spending whole time in the HR department of LMW, understanding the nuances, understanding the trends, understanding all the operations and other things. The second week, all the faculty will be exposed to all the disciplines kind of. And then we identify the areas on which we can collaborate, we can work together. Wherever necessary, we can take their inputs. Wherever necessary, they can get our inputs. So that is the way we collaborate with the industry. So naturally, having gained enough inputs from the industry, they come back and impart all the knowledge, whatever they have gained, to the students. Thereby, we ensure both my faculty as well as the students, they are completely updated with reference to the industry trends. So this is what I call it as an USP.
Wow.
Right from day one, the linkage with the industry, which starts happening in anybody's life. Yeah.
Understood. So finally, I would like to ask, what would be your advice and suggestion to the aspiring young students who are planning to pursue a career in management? How should they be looking at these 2 years of their MBA program? What should be the basic factors they should be considering? Because a lot of the times it's about writing an exam and getting into MBA college without actually having the game plan. What am I going to do?
Right.
What is my interest? All of that. What would be your advice to people who are planning to do an MBA?
Okay. Generally, my advice to the students who want to pursue their MBA program is, immediately after finishing your undergraduate program, please work for some time. Please gain some 3 to 5 years of experience in the industry. And with that experience, you knock at the doors of any premier business schools. You'll be given a red carpet welcome because you have enough industry exposure. And with that industry exposure, whatever you have gained immediately after your undergraduation, you start learning. And when you start learning all the principles, all the theories in management education, you can easily correlate what you have done in the past and what you are going through right now, so that you can relate whether it is relevant or not in the industry. In that way, you can differentiate yourselves from the rest of the crowd. This is one thing. The second one, whatever you do it with a passion. Don't make any compromise on the quality part of it. Okay? Give attention to the details and give your best. That is the second one. The third one, I may sound a little pessimistic, Mr. Abhijit. Please excuse me. I have seen people for the last 23 years plus. Generally, the reading habit has drastically come down. Of course, thanks to the technology, it should have gone up in multiples, but unfortunately, it is not so. So my simple equation to all the students is knowledge is equal to power. Who will say no to power? We are all craving for power, and that power doesn't come without knowledge. And there is no shortcut for acquiring knowledge. If there is no pain, there is no gain. So you need to slog out so that you can acquire enough knowledge. And a knowledge acquisition is a continuous process. When you keep acquiring that knowledge, naturally, power will automatically come to you. You need not run after the power. The power will be running after you. So this is the simple message to all the students who pursue their management education right now.
Very appropriate, sir. It's for all the students who are planning to pursue an MBA, what Dr. Narayan just said makes a lot of sense. The thing is, you've got to be passionate about what you're wanting, and you've got to be absolutely sure that this is what you've decided. And like the sir said, reading habit has probably gone down. People should be reading a lot more. Basically helps you, broaden your horizon, know about a lot of things you've probably not explored earlier. Do a lot of reading and be passionate about what you're doing. And like Dr. Narayan said, basic things in place. You should have a great career ahead of you. It's an excellent course to pursue MBA in general. And all the best to all of you guys who are planning to write the exams and apply to various colleges. And thank you so much, Dr. Narayan, for sparing your time to join us on our initiative for Pulse on Education, and talking to us and sharing your ideas and thoughts about various aspects that we talk about.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abhijit. It was my pleasure talking to you. And of course, my compliments to College Dunia, who has been doing excellent service in terms of educating the students in knowing what to pursue, where to pursue, and when to pursue. I wish you very, very all the best. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Wish you too.